Now, what do the common cold and divorce have in common? They're definitely both exhausting and you use up plenty of tissues. But did you know they're both contagious? According to a new study, you are 75% more likely to get divorced if a close friend has gone through one as well. And there's a massive 147% rise in the chance of splitting if you have several divorced friends in your group. Should I be worried?
Obviously.
Should we be worried, Jane, currently? I'm not... Is it catching? Do you think it slightly opens the door a little bit?
Well...
If someone's gone through it and a friend mightn't be that happy?
I think if you're fundamentally unhappy, so if you're sitting in a marriage thinking, am I enjoying this marriage, then if a close friend suddenly becomes divorced, because I think a lot of people stay in a situation because they fear the loneliness, perhaps the potential loneliness on the other side of it. So if a close friend, you suddenly think, well, I could move in with my close friend and we could have, you know, be company for each other and we could go on holidays together. So it's probably quite kind of persuasive that way. But I think if you fundamentally like your husband, no. You're not going to divorce somebody just because your friend does.
I didn't understand your mathematics. So if Jane's and I have both been divorced 4 times each, does that make us 4 times more likely to influence Jane and you?
Well, it makes you quite powerful, I guess, that. I'm not entirely sure of the breakdown of the math, but yeah.
I do think when you get divorced and as Jane said, your friends are in quite long-running marriages that have kind of gone off the boil, they look at what you've done and you've had the courage to do it. And, you know, it does take a lot of courage for any woman over the age of 40 to go, that's it. And it's slightly, they react in all sorts of different ways. And when I've got divorced, I have thought of saying to, and I have said it to women I know, are you sure that you should stay married? Because I can't look forward to the rest of your life. Is that it, basically? When you wake up in the morning, are you happy? Is that it?
Yeah.
And they think that's brutal, but I'm being realistic because the last third of your life should be the most joyous and empowering, and it doesn't have to be downhill all the way, and it's up to you to set the agenda.
I think it's obviously... It's a very difficult choice to make, and I do agree with you. I think if you're unhappy and you see somebody who's gone through a divorce and is now happier and being their own person and actually having the life that they always wanted to have, you know, I don't think there's, you know, any reward in sticking in something that is poisonous and isn't making anyone happy. Because if one person's unhappy in a relationship, the chances are both of them are. And I personally like to have an honest relationship with someone. Some people are quite happy to stay married and just quietly get on with other relationships. That's just not for me at all. So, but I do think that, you know, if someone's empowered to do it and they seem to have a good result, yes, that might happen. I can see
I suppose if someone's gone through a divorce, and you'll say this, Colleen, where actually you get to actually a very good place with your ex, if you are a friend of yours and you're in an unhappy marriage and you can see that there is light at the end of the divorce, that can be an encouragement. It's not going to obviously make you go through a divorce if you're not thinking it already, but to know that you can be okay at the other end of it is an encouragement amongst friends.
Absolutely. I think, you know, in my case, when I realised my marriage was not working and we weren't happy, it's that moment. It took me 3 or 4 years to finally make that decision because it is scary. That isn't what I had planned for my life, to end up, you know, middle-aged and divorced again. But also then, as time went on, I thought if we don't, we're going to end up, like you say, not only falling out of love, but falling out of like. And we have a child together, and we've had great times together. And it's funny because near the end, it was really difficult. We tried and it just didn't work. And then we called it a day. And now we are like best friends. You know, he's spending Christmas with us.
There you go.
And we see each other all the time and we get on great. I think if I'd have just settled and let it carry on, we would have been that couple that just didn't even really talk, but we were just together because what else
That couple that you see in the restaurant that don't...
Oh, God.
Don't speak.
And in actual fact, I guess I was influenced a bit because... my sister Maureen was going through the same kind of thing near the end of my marriage. She was started to go through the same kind of thing. And she sat there and said to me, because she's 11 years older than me, and she said, you know, if you're not happy, don't wait now till you're 63, because that means, because she was 63 then. And she said, that seems even more hard, you know. So
Well,
she kind of influenced me to finally make that decision.
Right, when we came to work today and they said we were going to discuss this, I said we've got to have this poll. And we asked you at home, do you secretly want to leave your partner? And I know what I wanted the answer to be, and the answer is yes, 34%, no, 66%.
Ah, you see.
Quite,
Yeah.
There is still a lot in the air.
but 34% is quite high.
Oh, I was taking that as quite good. I thought it might have been worse than that.
That's a third.
Yes,
That's a third of
exactly.
unhappy
Okay.
marriages.